Welcome back. It's another day, the IBN 12 Days of Bourbon Hunting. And Sarah, not only is it another day, it's a birthday.
That's right. It's the Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. This is the 2024 edition, of course, 12 years old. Chad, you found this one also at Costco. I feel like the hero of this series has become Costco, which is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, so far, at least in these earlier days, I suppose it is.
107 proof.
Right.
That's the highest we've seen for a birthday bourbon in a minute.
I think so.
There was 101, I think.
There was a 103.
103.
I can't remember because the thing
seems like
is,
they're climbing up just a little bit.
Well, and also I was gonna say that the thing is we haven't had a birthday bourbon, a bottle of it for maybe 3 or 4 years. I want to say maybe 2020. I think 2020 maybe.
Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
It was Wednesday. But all that to say is that don't normally have the opportunity to get one of these at retail.
No,
and
you do not see that very often.
They honestly haven't been our favorite LE out there, so there's no way we're even considering paying more than retail out
Or even
there.
really like standing in line, going to the distillery,
Right.
making the day of it. It's just not one of those for us that it's a must-have.
No, but walking into Costco, they were literally putting it out. You can see in the video they were putting the sign out for the $185.99.
Oof, that's gone up since, I mean, geez, it's been almost 10 years since we hunted for bottles of this, since we stood in line for our first bottle of this.
It was $80 then.
I cannot believe it.
So it's gone up over $100.
What was that, 2015, I think? Yeah, 2015.
Yeah.
That's wild.
9 years later, over $100 more, but
we like it better.
that's the market.
So there we go.
Well, we'll find out.
Well, we have been liking them better.
Yes.
Well, I definitely like the nose better.
Now, as far as like Old Forester things go, this year we also got very lucky with the President's Choice, which we were over the moon about.
That one.
So that, in our opinion, is like the Old Forester LE to go after.
The LE to get.
But
Unless it's a year when they're putting out, well, the year that they did the 150th.
150th, yeah.
Obviously, they're not going to do a 150th every year. That's a
Plus, we'll say
anniversary.
this, Sarah, you know, the President's Choice, it's a single barrel. Now, the single barrel that we got was incredible. We tried someone else's single barrel, and we were not as impressed. So at least you have consistency with this one.
Yeah. I get those, you know, somewhat classic Old Forester notes, little orange zest, lots of oak, vanilla, some toast, a little bit of cherry. Again, what I usually call it smells like if you were to just take notes from an old fashioned and it became a bourbon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the classic caramel.
I feel
in
like a
here,
lot of people say
and-
banana on Old Forester, but I don't get that on this.
And we do a lot of times too, but I feel like on their more special bottlings or more LEs, that banana note, you know, that might be an age thing. I think that's more
Maybe.
reserved for like your Old Forester 100, your, 86. And
Fair point, Chad.
so on and so forth. But let's dive into it. To your health.
Way more oak than I was expecting for a 12-year.
Well, yeah. I mean, what were we having the other day that was a 10-year that we said had a lot of oak on it? Oh, it was the Dark Arts.
The
but
Dark Arts.
That was a 10.5, but that was also double barrel.
That was double barreled,
Yeah.
so that made a little bit more sense to me. This is not double barreled, so I'm like, what's going on here? I mean, it is
Yeah.
107 proof, so maybe that oak's just holding up stronger to the water. I don't know.
First bourbon of the day.
It could account to that, so I'll take my second sip.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of rich fruit in this. Dark, deep fruit. Deep fruit. It's a deep
It's
fruit.
a deep fruit.
Yeah.
I get some dry spice, a lot of that oak. It's got a solid mouthfeel up front. It does go
yeah.
drier, I think, with the oak and the spice towards the finish. A lot of baking spice on this one.
Yeah, like spiced plums, sort of what I'm getting.
I'm not getting as much of that like
Sugar plums.
stone fruit as much as I'm getting more orange zest or orange marmalade. Something
Well, that's there more in the background. I'm just sort of getting the,
cranberry orange muffin.
yeah, I'm getting that sort of more up front, and then that allspice, which is, I feel like very tied into the barrel notes, like the charred oak. Almost like ginger snap. Yeah.
I think ginger is a great note
Yeah.
for this one. Yeah, ginger.
Okay, well,
I've had 3 sips so far, so I feel like at this point we better take a break so Chad can tell you about.
Yeah, whiskyambitions.com. It's our home on the internet. It's where you can get the t-shirt and hat that I'm wearing. Of course, the Glencairns we're drinking from. In fact, all of our glassware, including our mini Glens and our Copitas and Rocks glasses. It's where you can also get our Elemental Elixir cocktail syrup. And today is the last day for free shipping, $50 and above. So go ahead and take advantage of that at whiskyambitions.com.
And you can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as $1 a month. And that is where we release access to our barrel picks, after the episode exclusives, and more.
All right, we'll be right back. Going in for this third sip here. Sarah, I am liking the nose. The nose.
I think the nose might be my favorite part.
Yeah.
I don't know about if it's the finish or just like after the finish. The Kentucky hug is a good part of this for me. Like I like the hug that lingers.
Okay.
The finish is a little dry for me. I will say this is a tipping point oak threshold for me.
Oh, okay.
It's a little oaky for my taste.
We're experiencing it a little bit differently. I didn't get a huge Kentucky hug on this, and then it's also not near my oak threshold, but that's been established, right?
And maybe it's because of the amount of spice that is with the oak, that like dry baking spice, that with the oak that's also, I think, drying. For a 107, this is really making me like...
See, I was just sort of thinking like, the proof on this is sort of perfect. If it were 110, 115,
oh, I agree.
More, it would sort of be a disaster. But I feel like they're sort of flirting on that line, for me particularly, personally, where the oak, the proof, the spice level that it's presenting is all sort of, think about a meter in audio world. Like, it's not clipping, it's just hitting zero, hitting zero.
Okay, nobody else is in audio world except for you.
Yeah, there's plenty of people. If you know what I'm talking about in audio world, leave a comment down below. Let Sarah know.
I'm not insulting you,
There's more of us out there, audiophiles.
Oh my gosh, I know what it is too. I just, like, that's...
It's just right there for me. So I can understand...
Well, our thresholds are different.
Yeah, knowing your threshold, how this one's clipping.
Yeah, it's clipping for me.
But... thinking of previous birthday bourbons.
Oh, this is one of the better ones.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I'm just now getting to on the finish is a little bit of chocolate, like a spiced chocolate. I don't know, it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, I could see that. Almost like a spicy hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Not that it's hot, but that type of chocolate level,
Yeah, like that.
I like that. I like that about it.
I like the hug. I think the Kentucky hug is my favorite part on this one. It just warmed me right up. If you can't tell, I want to be warm today. This is not a coat. This is just a puffy vest. I'm cold. It's very cold outside.
I would say if this were still $80, it would be
a definite.
Just a great value. But wow, almost $190. I mean, $190 after taxes.
For me, it's past my oak threshold for that, but...
Still going for that President's Choice if I can, all the time. But glad to see this, at least for us, coming back around to more of our preference in whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, okay, there we go. That's where we're going to leave it. If you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There are suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay, until tomorrow, drink more bourbon.